What is going on, everyone? Anthony here, and welcome back to another video here on Let's Talk Resident Evil. And today, I'm going to be discussing the Resident Evil Trilogy, something that a lot of fans want to see on modern consoles. Sure, you can spend some money and get them with their original consoles and the original copy. You can make them run on emulators, but a lot of fans want to be able to play this on the recent machines, something on PlayStation, something on Xbox, even PC. Well, we may be a little bit of a step closer to that with today's news. With PlayStation announcing their PlayStation Plus services that is going to be launching next month, which is going to be their answer to Game Pass, launching services that gives you a whole plethora of games in their game library from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PS3, PS4, and PS5, paying a premium price, and there's different tiers. The rollout has kind of been all over the place, but I wanted to focus on the news that we got today in today's article that Sony put out on their website. So this is it right here on the PlayStation.blog. They have the classic games catalog. PlayStation Plus Premium Deluxe members will have a selection of popular classic games to play, with some titles that will show improved frame rates and higher quality resolution compared to the original launch versions. For select original PlayStation and PSP classic games, members will also be able to enjoy a new user interactive menu that allows you to save your game at any time or even rewind the game if you want a do-over. So it kind of acts like an emulator for select PlayStation and PSP games that are going to be on this service, and it looks like it is going to be improved with the frame rate, and it's going to be somewhat remastered in a way. So let's go into what it says here. It says, also, players who have previously purchased the digital version of select games from the original PlayStation and PSP generation will not have to make a separate purchase or sign up for PlayStation Plus to play these titles on PS4 or PS5. So let me stop it right there. So that's actually a great thing to know that all the money that we spent on the PlayStation 3 getting PS1 games did not go to waste. And it doesn't look like they're forcing you to sign up for the service, and you can download the games. So that's right. So if you own one of the games that they announce on their service that is available for PlayStation 1, that means you will be able to download it at no additional cost. So they are pulling a Microsoft. They are honoring your past purchases, which is great. That's awesome to hear. That is something that we should have heard from the start of this whole service announcement. I think the way that they're announcing this could have been condensed into a video like this, where they're just talking to the camera, really breaking it down, making it more simplified for Sony fans such as myself. So let's continue on here. It says, when these titles are released for PS4 and PS5, players can head to the PlayStation Store and download a version of the console at no extra cost if they already own the digital version of the title. Some of the titles will also be available for individual purchases. So when it says some of the titles will be available for individual purchase, I'm assuming that there will be some that may be on the service only and some that you can individually purchase. But the big thing here is if you previously bought it on the PlayStation 3 store, it is going to be honored as long as it's obviously available or honored on their service, as long as they're enabling that game, right? So, and then right here at the bottom where it says, additionally, some remastered classics from previous console generations will be added to the PlayStation Plus Premium Deluxe plan. Below is an early look at the selection of games that will be available. So, what it says right here, what will be available on the PlayStation service day one next month, isn't a lot, but this is what it says. Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Super Stardust Portable, and then the other third-party games, Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, and Worms Armageddon. So a very underwhelming list to start, in my opinion. I wish they kind of went with a bigger selection. I know they don't want to put all of it out right away. They don't want people to just sign up for the service and then jump off. They want to roll this stuff out. But for example, I own Ape Escape and I own Siphon Filter on my PlayStation 3 account, which is the same PSN login as my PS5. So I should be able to sign on here and play Siphon Filter at no additional cost, and I don't have to sign up for the service. That right there is really cool. But in addition to this news, what this means is that if Resident Evil, the trilogy, Resident Evil 1 through 3, gets announced on this service or comes out on a particular month and it is remastered, that means you will be able to play the Resident Evil Trilogy remastered, at least to a certain extent, at no additional cost. If you're like myself, who you already own the digital Resident Evils on PlayStation 3 because you're a fan, you probably have multiple copies like myself, but it is good to know that they are going back and updating the frame rate, remastering it a little bit. And this is from Sony themselves, right? So if they were to not follow up on this, they would only be doing damage to their own product. And I don't think they're going to do that in terms of how long we've waited to play some of these original games. Now, there was no, of course, Resident Evil dropping on this whole platform here. The only thing that we see here from the PS4 games is Resident Evil Remake will be on the service, but there is no Resident Evil Original Trilogy. But this does open the door for, if Resident Evil 1 through 3 comes out on that store, if you already bought it, you don't got to rebuy them, and that means they are going to be remastered to a certain extent. It's not like they're going to be completely overhauled. They didn't mention anything about trophy support or anything, but it's nice to know that we can look forward to it, because I think that they would release Resident Evil 1 through 3. If Capcom isn't going to do a trilogy remaster anytime soon, this is the closest thing that we can get on this PlayStation service. I know it's not on Xbox. I know it's not on Steam. I know it's not going to be, it may not be the most, like, you know, most broad way to play it, but a lot of people haven't been able to play these games for years, dating all the way back to the PS3 era. So even if we can get that stuff, that same exact download, and get it a little bit enhanced, maybe with enhanced menus, maybe with a, you know, fast forward or rewind kind of thing. It says that that's going to be available on select games in terms of like that interface, but it's mentioning that they are trying to bring these to a new light with a remastered spin on it. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I always wanted the PS1 games on the service. Of course, they announced a bunch of stuff for PS2 and PS3 and stuff that you can also check out, but there's more on the link. I'll link it below. But the main thing here that I wanted to focus on is that this may be good news for the Resident Evil trilogy, so people can actually play it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think of this news from Sony. Are you looking forward to the announcement of Resident Evil titles on here with this remastered spin on it? And obviously, I would love to check it out when it comes out on the service, if Resident Evil does show up in, you know, July or August or September or October, whatever month they decide to drop Resident Evil, if they even do it this year at all. But I think if they really want to make a mark on the list of classic games that they announce, Resident Evil has to be somewhere in there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that has to be coming eventually, even if you just start with Director's Cut, you know what I mean? But that's, you know, because that is the version that is on PS3. So if they do put out DualShock Director's Cut, that may be the one that we get. So, but again, a lot of people at this point just want to be able to play these things on modern consoles. So I think this is a step in the right direction. And what do you feel about the news of being able to honor your past purchase history, which is great? That is something that Microsoft has done for years, and it looks like Sony is starting to realize that that's what they have to do to, you know, not piss customers off, because a lot of us spent money on PS1 classics, on the PS3, in the PS3 era, and we couldn't play them all through the PS4 gen. All of those purchases were pretty much lost in the ether. They were still on our account. We could still go back and play them on PS3, but then it kind of skipped a whole gen with no acknowledgement to older games. And now we come full circle with this service, and now they seem to be, you know, getting their footing in the right direction. They're also taking a note from Game Pass on Microsoft's end, which I think is great. I think this is why competition is awesome, because it gets us fans what we want. On the other side of the spectrum, like with Sony, I want to be able to turn on my PS5 and play PS1 games, play PS2 games, PS3 games. It's called PlayStation, so I should be able to just play everything all in once. If I can't take my PS1 disc and pop it in like I was able to with the PS3, I should at least have access to my old games and honor that purchase. So that means if RE is around the corner, we don't got to worry about it. We can just download it, and then hopefully we can enjoy something that is remastered and something that's on the current consoles, and just enjoy it again. So again, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more LTRE content, and comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys next time on more Let's Talk Resident Evil. Take care. A big shout out to everyone that supports me on Patreon and YouTube memberships. YouTube members grants you access to voting on content with custom badges and emojis for chats. Patreon gives you the same voting privilege, but even more. Gain access to uncut recording sessions, weekly exclusive Patreon shows, and live hangouts on Patreon. Tiers start at just $1. Thank you so much for your support, and I will catch you next time.